Good evening. It's great to be here to honor my friend Bill Burns. We celebrate this evening the Office of Strategic Services, the forerunner to CIA and the Special Operations community. These ties are not only a source of pride, they are a source of strength. Now more than ever, we need to make the effort to remember and honor the spirit, the bravery, and the courage that propelled our men and women during World War II, men and women who volunteered to go behind enemy lines and into a world of danger and uncertainty. The same spirit lives on today. There is a thread that ties these legends of the past directly to the brave officers serving today, who go to places we cannot imagine and do things we cannot comprehend. To the leadership and members of the OSS Society, we thank you for carrying this important torch. The Donovan Award is one with a proud history that honors the great Wild Bill Donovan, the father of American intelligence. He was a soldier and a statesman who inspired people from all walks of life to take enormous risks in the name of freedom. He displayed the type of powerful leadership and strong convictions that helped the United States and its allies prevail during the Second World War. Our Donovan Award recipient this evening, Director William Burns, is from the same mold. He reflects many of the same qualities as Bill Donovan. He leads. He inspires the men and women of CIA with outstanding judgment and great humility. In many ways, Bill represents the best of Donovan and the service he created. Bill Burns is a man who transcends party and politics. His 6 confirmations by the United States Senate are all a testament to the truly unique bipartisan respect for Bill's service. Now, like Bill Donovan, Bill Burns was made to lead during a moment of consequence. In fact, I can't think of a person with better preparation and perspective to be the director of CIA. Bill may well be the finest foreign policy and national security professional of his generation. At this moment, with a declining Russia lashing out in aggression, with an ascendant China seeking to assert itself in the great power competition in the Middle East, revealing the volatility and danger that lies just beneath the surface, Bill has the perfect mix of experience, judgment, and yes, even brilliance. He's the right man at the right time to lead CIA. I want you to think for a minute of the history that Bill experienced at the start of his career. The patient diplomacy that helped ensure the Cold War ended without a shot being fired. The building of a diverse coalition that led to Saddam Hussein's defeat in the first Gulf War. The hosting of the Madrid Conference that established the framework for Palestinian-Israeli discussions for over 20 years. That said, perhaps the most important event at the start of his career was absolutely pure luck. I'm talking about how on his first day of State Department orientation, he had the good fortune of alphabetical seating. Bill Burns next to Lisa Carty, his future wife. Ambassador Carty is an outstanding public servant in her own right, our current envoy to the UN Economic and Social Council. In honoring Bill tonight, Lisa, we're honoring you as well. The two of them together have formed a powerful team at home and abroad, advancing American interests and raising 2 incredible daughters. Much of what Bill has achieved, no doubt, is directly related to the wisdom and support of a great professional and a loving partner. So Lisa, please stand up because we all want to say thank you. Throughout his career, Bill has actively shaped history, taking on some of the most challenging assignments, and you saw some of them in the film, negotiating with Gaddafi, serving as an ambassador to Moscow, although you smiled a lot when you were standing behind Putin on that phone. At a time of real stress of our relationship with Russia, guiding secret talks with Iran that helped open nuclear negotiations. I want you to think about all that. Bill Burns truly knows the art of using influence, American influence, for good in the world, but as a student of history and a keen observer of people and events, he also knows both the strengths and limitations of American power. In a prescient memo, transition memo to the Clinton administration in 1992, he wrote the following: "While for the first time in 50 years we do not face a global military adversary, it is certainly conceivable that a return to authoritarianism in Russia or an aggressively hostile China could revive such a global threat." He wrote that in 1992, and here we are today. Just as importantly, Bill saw firsthand the importance of mentorship. He learned from some of the finest leaders that America has ever produced, legends like Jim Baker and Colin Powell. When you look at Bill Burns, you can't help but see Jim Baker's imprint in his thoroughness and strategic thinking. You can't help but see Colin Powell's impact in how Bill has always led his men and women from the front with great care for them. I've known Bill for a long time. I've always been impressed with his poise and his judgment. I've seen him take over a room, not because he has new secrets to impart, but rather because of his experience and his sense of history and his immaculate judgment. As Leon Panetta or General Mattis said, when Bill spoke, everybody listened. We got to know each other when he was ambassador to Jordan, shepherding a delicate transition from the late King Hussein to his son, King Abdullah. To say that there were complexities would be an understatement. Yet Bill handled it all in a graceful, low-key manner, his deft touch and humility always revealing enormous wisdom that benefited both Jordanian and American interests. In all of his foreign postings, and in particular when he served as ambassador to Amman and to Moscow, he treated his intelligence colleagues with trust and respect, and it was returned to him many times over. For the men and women of CIA, he was the gold standard of how a chief of mission establishes the best possible relationship with American intelligence professionals. When His Majesty King Abdullah learned of Bill's receiving the Donovan Award this evening, he wrote to me, Bill, to say the following: "I can think of no one more deserving of this prestigious award than my dear friend Bill Burns, who throughout his many decades of distinguished public service has exemplified how a patriotic American can truly serve his nation at home and abroad. His deep knowledge of geopolitical complexities and his unwavering sense of integrity have earned him the respect and often love of all who have had the pleasure of knowing him and working with him. He is a one-of-a-kind American leader." Your Majesty, we all agree with you. Bill and I had to navigate some tough moments together. Maybe he remembers, I remember. I remember a particularly difficult night in Ramallah after a horrific terrorist attack in Tel Aviv, negotiating with Yasser Arafat, paragraph by paragraph, but I had the benefit of Bill, then Assistant Secretary for the Near East, who stayed on the line throughout the night and into the morning to help. He was crucial in helping me craft the right words, even while we were both being burned in effigy a few hundred yards away. When General Donovan set out to build the OSS, his ideal recruit was a PhD who could win a bar fight. Bill Burns has a PhD, and I'll tell you, he sure as hell could win a bar fight or throw a sharp elbow on the basketball court. Please don't let that Irish Catholic altar boy smile fool you. Thank God you're not Scottish. That would have ruined the whole line. Bill is unflappable and tough as nails. When taking all of his qualities together, it's no wonder why presidents and secretaries of state have called on him and entrusted him with the most subtle of missions. It's why President Biden has done the same. He sent Bill to talk to Vladimir Putin prior to the invasion of Ukraine. It's Bill Burns who's been quietly omnipresent in Kyiv, giving President Zelensky the confidence and support needed during the most difficult times. And it will be Bill Burns who no doubt will have to provide counsel to Arab capitals in Jerusalem in the coming weeks to keep a dangerous conflict from expanding and to provide practical support to our Israeli friends in their hour of need. But it's not just abroad where he's had to focus. Since becoming CIA director, he has led this agency with great vision. He has maintained a truly strategic view of the geopolitical moment and the role the agency needs to play in the coming years and decades. He sees China as the generational challenge for American intelligence. He has redirected and reshaped CIA in order to make sure that it is best prepared to meet the challenge. He's leading an important effort to transform the agency's approach to technology. He knows the CIA has to have the most innovative tools to succeed, and he knows that a true partnership with America's private sector is essential for the agency's success. On these issues and so many more as director, Bill has displayed a boldness and purpose when the agency has needed it most. And just as important as all of this, Bill has never lost sight of the fact that people are at the core of the Central Intelligence Agency. Whenever I talk to him, without fail, he expresses how proud he is of the agency's men and women. He recognizes that he has a profound obligation to protect and enhance their well-being of his officers and their families. The focus on people is something that Bill has remembered throughout his career. Diplomacy and intelligence are all about personal connections. One of Bill's favorite quotes is from Edward R. Murrow, who said, "The most critical link in the chain of international communications is the last 3 feet." For so much of his career, Bill has embodied this idea. It is how he has lived and how he is leading CIA with humanity, personally inspiring men and women to be their very best. While Director Burns always credits his officers, the truth is they are across disciplines, firing on all cylinders, with daring and creativity to protect American interests. The mission always comes first, but leadership matters. The men and women of CIA believe in and trust their director, Bill Burns. They know that just like Dick Helms, that when you need him, Bill will always be there. That's an applause line, ladies and gentlemen. One more vignette and we're out of here. In our final months in Afghanistan, when the situation started to spiral, Bill was sent to Kabul. There he saw what it took to get our citizens and many of our Afghan partners out in those final chaotic days. He saw the tally marks on the wall in Kabul's airport that represented each and every life saved. He knows the obligations that we still have to those we have left behind, and he is committed to making it right for these Afghan patriots who helped save American lives. Bill will not abandon them. Both General Donovan and Director Burns represent men of character. Character is what stiffens the spine when you need it the most. It's what gives you the resolve you need to walk into the Oval Office and tell the president what he doesn't want to hear or what he doesn't want to believe. And Bill knows the sacredness of this responsibility. I think I know why we're blessed with a CIA director of such character. It's because of how he was raised and because of who raised him. His mother, Peggy, whom Bill has described as the devoted heart of his family, and his father, and true namesake, General William F. Burns. I had the great privilege of meeting Bill's father. I met him when I was a young Senate staffer serving in the Senate, went up to the Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, where he spent 2 or 3 hours with me explaining the intricacies of the Intermediate Nuclear Force Treaty. Now, he was the nicest man in the world to do it. He probably thought I was the biggest knucklehead he'd ever met, but he was one of a kind. You felt you were in the presence of a kind, decent man with an enormous amount of wisdom. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And the United States is deeply fortunate because of that. Bill, time and again you've proven that you are the right man at the right time to lead CIA. Because of you, we are a stronger country, a safer country, and a country that's better prepared for whatever may come. You've served and continue to serve with purpose and vision. You've served and continue to serve with wisdom and humility. And above all, you've served and continue to serve with honor. For this and so much more, it really is a high honor for me to present you with the 2023 William J. Donovan Award.